If you feel like someone doesn't value or appreciate you, it can be frustrating and demoralizing. But there are things you can do today to address this and get the respect you deserve. In today's session of Thinks Free, I will give you some strategies for how to do that, whether the person in question is a colleague, family member, or romantic partner. Just make sure to pay attention and keep your focus as we move along. Before we dive into the solutions, it's worth considering why someone might not be treating you the way you want them to. A 2018 study published in the Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin found that people with low self-esteem can sometimes attract partners who treat them poorly. However, it's important to remember that it's not always your fault. With that said, if you want someone's behavior towards you to change, you may need to make some changes in your own behavior as well. Remember, you have the power to set the standards for how you want to be treated. Alright, let's get started. Number 6. Be aware of your self-worth. Don't let your own low self-worth prevent you from being happy and loved. If you believe that you are undervalued, it can make you feel like you're doing something wrong, but that's not the case. Remember that you are deserving of respect and good treatment. Prioritizing your own needs and happiness is important, as it shows others that you value yourself. When you have confidence in your own worth, it becomes easier to stand up for yourself and speak out against any mistreatment. Ultimately, if you want to attract healthy, mutually respectful relationships, it's crucial to treat yourself with care and respect. Don't allow yourself to be taken advantage of or treated poorly. If someone doesn't recognize your value, it's not worth dwelling on them. Focus on yourself and your own self-worth. Number 5. Learn how to say no. Learning how to say no is a crucial life skill that can benefit you in many areas of your life. It can be difficult to set boundaries and assert your own needs, especially if you have a tendency to prioritize the needs and desires of others over your own. However, it is important to remember that you have a right to your own time and well-being, and that saying no is an important way to protect these things. Saying no can be especially challenging if you struggle with self-esteem or have people-pleasing tendencies. When you constantly compromise your own needs in order to please others, it can lead to a decline in both your mental and physical health. Studies have shown that people-pleasing habits can contribute to stress, anxiety, and other negative health outcomes. By learning to say no and setting boundaries, you can help to reduce these negative impacts on your health and well-being. It's okay to cancel plans or confront someone who has treated you poorly. You have the right to stand up for yourself and to assert your own needs and desires. By saying no and setting boundaries, you are demonstrating that you value and respect yourself and that you will not tolerate being undervalued or disrespected. Remember, you deserve to be treated with respect, and it's okay to set boundaries to protect yourself and your well-being. Number 4. Communicate your feelings. It is important to communicate openly and honestly with your partner in order to maintain a healthy and successful relationship. If you feel that you are putting more effort into the relationship than your partner and not receiving the same level of appreciation in return, it is important to express these feelings to them. By openly discussing your concerns and the effort you put in, your partner may recognize their behavior and make an effort to change. According to a professor of human development and family studies at the University of Illinois, good communication is crucial for the improvement of any relationship. In fact, the lack of communication is often cited as the main cause of divorce. It can be difficult to admit when we feel undervalued, but it is better to address these issues directly rather than bottling them up. If, after having a conversation with your partner, you find that they still do not understand your perspective, it may be necessary to consider other options for addressing the issue in your relationship. Number 3. Make them work for your time. The scarcity principle states that if something is rare or hard to obtain, it is generally perceived as being more valuable. You can apply this principle to your relationships by making yourself less available to the person you are interested in. Instead of constantly reaching out to them or being available for last-minute plans, give them the chance to chase you and show that they value your time. By being less available, you can create a sense of scarcity and make yourself more desirable to the other person. Additionally, by focusing on your own life and making yourself busy, you will be able to show the other person that you have a full, fulfilling life outside of your relationship with them. This can also help you avoid becoming too dependent on someone who may not value you as much as you deserve. Overall, by making yourself rare and less available, you can increase your worth in the eyes of the other person and potentially improve the dynamic of your relationship. Number 2. Show them you have other options. One way to show someone that you have options is to demonstrate that your life is fulfilling and enjoyable without them. If they are not valuing you or treating you with respect, consider exploring other opportunities or spending time with people who appreciate you. It's important to remember that you have the power to choose who you spend your time with, and it is okay to distance yourself from those who do not treat you well. Additionally, consider using the mimetic desire to your advantage. This refers to the idea that people often want what they see others wanting. By showing that you are desired and valued by others, you may be able to increase your own value in the eyes of the person you are trying to influence. However, if these strategies do not work, it may be necessary to have a direct conversation about the issues in the relationship and consider taking more drastic measures, such as ending the relationship if necessary. And finally, to tip number 1. Do not stick around. If you have tried everything to make a relationship work, including distancing yourself to show your importance, improving your self-esteem, and communicating openly, but the other person still does not recognize your worth, it may be time to consider walking away from the relationship. It is important to be with people who make you feel valued and appreciated, and if you are constantly feeling like a second choice, it can have negative effects on your physical and mental health. This is especially true if you are staying in the relationship for the wrong reasons, such as hoping it will get better despite evidence to the contrary. It is also important to remember that this applies to other aspects of your life, such as being in dead-end jobs or friend groups where you do not feel welcome. When the time comes, you should have the confidence and self-respect to leave and find happiness and fulfillment elsewhere. As we wrap up this session, I need you to know that it can be quite difficult to cope with the feeling of being undervalued, and it can be challenging to pinpoint the exact reason for this feeling and find a solution. However, it is crucial to have faith in your own worth and capabilities. It may take some time, but eventually, you will find someone who will treat you with the respect and appreciation that you deserve. It is important to remember that you have the power to make positive changes in your situation if you are not satisfied with it. Do not let anyone else's perception of you dictate your own self-worth. Believe in yourself and your own abilities, and you will find success and happiness.